All right, so are we live? That's the question. Everything seems to be working. Well, welcome to another Quantium Research stream. There may be a little noise in the background. I need to move my mini fridge somewhere. Let's
Everything
see.
seems to be working. Well,
I have to clear up some tabs real quick. One sec. Jeez, that was really overriding my whole system. That is a mad situation. All these pages. Let's cancel those. I actually have used too much data for the day. Let me fix this. Microsoft Word, can we cancel?
pages.
Don't save it. Alright.
Let's cancel those.
I wonder if the stream's still up, but nice to see all of you again. We're chilling. We are literally looking around the market to find some gems. This is the current situation where being in the market isn't exactly great for your bank account unless you're short. When you are short, get yourself burnt, as always seems to be happening to us. Just getting rid of all these extra pages. We should be clear in a bit. I should probably get some music going. This is a graph of Rolls-Royce. We were exploring them earlier. We had a trade, but it could have been a monster trade, so I wouldn't say things are going that well, but count your blessings, eh? Just cancelling every single page. We don't want to use up this whole CPU. But how are things with all of you? How is the trading world treating you? That's what I'd like to know. Whilst I set up the stream, all these Zoom notification bits. Yara Shahidi. You're good there. Yeah, I'll cancel that. I don't need the IG platform anymore. And that should be enough. Smooth. Well, what is the topic of today? Rolls-Royce. Everyone thinks that Rolls-Royce shares are down by a huge amount, but the truth is the rights issue shares have purely been allotted. So actually, there's no different. Well, if we adjust for the rights issue shares, they are actually up. And I think on a close of, let's see, what was the close? Let's just say 84 or so. Yeah, 84 and a half. That for me has them up at about 20% for the day. So people think the shares are down 50, 60 something percent, but in reality, Rolls-Royce shares are up roughly 20% for the day. At 80 pence, just for reference, they were up about 13 and a half. So casually estimate from there about 20%. So it seems that today's situation was taken positively. Let's just check if the streams are working.
Shares are up roughly 20% for the day. At 80 pence, just
No
for
freezing?
reference, they were up about 13 and a half. So
Okay, well, if you haven't already, we did a video where we tried to trade Rolls-Royce pre all this rights issue allotting situation. We were trading in, I think, at 252 around the price hit. We got 249.6 to go short, and we closed, I think, 233. A little bit too early, probably for the sake of the video, but it is what it is. Money's money at the end of the day. You have a good day, take it how you can. There's something I wanted to look at. There's two companies actually for the day, but we will screen on our separate screen and see if we can get any new things to add to our watch list for the month. Because it's the 28th of October. We've got, if it's Wednesday today, next week will be Monday. That will be 2 days before the 4th. So the 2nd is basically where we have to reset our watch list for the month, so that will be interesting. I don't know if yourselves, you tend to update your watch lists. I prefer to do. Just makes life a little bit easier for me. Means that I don't have the same pile of companies with me. Okay, I'm gonna put the chat in a pop-up real quick. We're on YouTube and we're on Twitch. Sorry, TradingView. We're not on Twitch today. Doesn't seem that I can get them both to work. But then again, this is still in beta. Still a pretty cool platform nonetheless. We might as well watch that video and have a little reaction to my trading mentality. Let's have a look.
On Rolls-Royce Holdings PLC,
All right.
listed on the London Stock Exchange
Put it
after
like
they've
this.
been having a crazy rights issue
Nope.
kind of drama surrounding the whole situation. They raised £2 billion.
I want to actually see. I haven't watched this.
$2 billion. And their
I just put the
shares,
clips together.
because of the favourable terms of this rights issue, where
Hold up. Let us see if we can actually hear ourselves. Yeah, that's the question.
I love companies with me. Okay, I'm gonna put the chat in a pop-up real quick.
It's a little bit of a delay.
We're on YouTube and we're on Twitch. Sorry, TradingView. We're not on Twitch today. Doesn't seem
Desktop
well, I
audio.
can get them both to work, but then again, this is still in beta. Still a pretty cool platform nonetheless. We might as well watch that video and have a little reaction to my trading mentality. Let's have a look. On Rolls-Royce Holdings PLC,
Okay, we're all good.
shares are being offered to existing investors, and if they want to lower their average, then they can take part in that rights issue. Well, it works out to give you an average of around 70-80 pence, depending on even the current price now. So the shares have
Little bit of info.
absolutely exploded. To the current price now, they are up 127, or let's just say 125% or so, from the point where they made their lows at around £1 a share. or
Imagine
100
getting
pence.
£1 a share for
What do we got?
Rolls Royce.
100.8.
I don't know why I didn't see it.
That's the lows for the past week or so. And we have been following this. We tried to trade yesterday, which the video should be out soon, as I've had the chance to edit it. And we kind of swung from a little bit in the red to a little bit
Let me get my
in
terminal up
the
on the
green,
other screen.
or blue, whatever you like to call it. We were up for a large amount of
There we
time,
go.
and then the trade kind of reversed into close. We ended up getting cut out at about a £36 loss, £35 something, and we are trading them again today. We're trading a lot higher. They went as high as 249.6 pence. We opened short there, smaller size than we were trading yesterday. I really wanted to hold this overnight, but at the current situation, there was a rapid spike there, and we managed to get it just below the highs of the day. What were the highs? Let's see. 252.2 pence per share. And the current price to buy back those shorts quotes as 227.3 pence per share. Our stop here is at 233.5. Relatively conservative, considering there's a little bit of a range going on the tighter time frame outlook. And on the hourly, the trend is still within range. It's intact, but we like to
I want to evaluate this trade and see.
maintaining that. We're not really trying to take a huge bold move here. My personal perception of the shares, I think their intrinsic value is much lower, probably 80 pence or so, and that's accounting for a premium given the fact that they've raised money. I still feel that Rolls-Royce hasn't raised enough, and I think that is going to be factored into the share price shortly. Maybe the rights issue fellas are going to sell their shares, I don't know. But at the moment, we are in the trade. We'll update you as it goes along. And we're up £280 for the session. So if we take away fees, we're up about £260. Things are looking okay for us. We're trying to get around 217 or so. Session lows weren't actually 221. They were about 223. This was just a delayed trade that seems to come up on the TradingView chart. But we'll keep you updated. I'll be back shortly. And yeah, catch you in a bit. I didn't catch this on video, but we closed our short at 2... Hold up, let me check. I'll be back in a second. So I've just had a look. Excuse the music in the back, but we got out at 231.9. So we netted £213.99 minus £20 in fees. So we netted £193.99. So just to go over the trade again, if you can see in the top right hand area, we entered directly on that spike. The highs were at 252.4, 252.4, and we managed to get 249.6 and literally caught some intraday reversal. This could go much lower, ideally, but I kind of have some stuff to attend to today, and yet it might literally be a false breakout. That's fine. I would have had my stop at 233.50, but I cut manually at 232. I was literally in between texting. And
oh, I remember what happened. So I was manually observing the trade, texting on my phone, thinking things are gonna be all right. I could give it a couple of minutes. Then boom, suddenly 2.5% worth of gains were just lost on a little bit of a rise, and that invalidated my setup. You can see there, really, we see break above, which generally is where you look to go long. So if you're short, you're definitely going to cover at the very minimum, and to kind of switch position, you're likely going to get burnt. So that didn't work out as I'd hoped, but when you make on a trade, you shouldn't really complain. So nice situation nonetheless. Didn't expect us to have that much activity. That is super sweet. Well, look forward to the 10k series. The 10k series starts literally in a couple of weeks. I should be ready to go from next week, but we're not forcing trades. So if there is a trade, we'll trade. If there isn't a trade, we're not going to trade. But we'll have streams every once in a while. I'll try and make little videos going over them. Let's get AO up. AO is quite a difficult one to navigate during what's going on right now. FTSE 100 around £55.80. This isn't that high or strong in terms of a correlation, but it's not Okudo level. So is it the next Okudo? I think it's the nearest thing, but it would be difficult. Okudo can raise capital. Okudo could raise $1 billion with ease. AO World is worth £1.6 billion, and if they wanted to raise, I reckon they could do 300 million, 200 million easy. If they did raise, then gosh, that would probably be a fair bit of steam added to that whole anti-beta status, which would be very impressive. The question is, will they? I think if they do, their perspectives go absolutely right to the top of the shelf in terms of what's out there. I was looking at their financials. Revenues are doing well. During this whole COVID situation, you'd think online businesses to do better. Boohoo, for example, in terms of sales, they're doing much better. It's just management isn't that great over there. You've got ASOS, who I'm pretty sure they're at like £50 or something. We could have a look. ASC. See how they're doing. Well, I guess they've fallen back a little bit. Probably because of the correlation with the market. Market had recovered quite significantly, and you saw them go, literally. This wasn't to do with the market, this bit. But you had them at what? Well, this bit must have been to do with the market, but there was one bit where for some reason they went to £10, and then they just like tripled within a couple of weeks or something. Crazy situation. But what, from £10 to literally 50 in the highs? Crazy. And this is a company that was making money before. One bad year is not going to kill them. What you want to do is you want to buy the quality companies up on the cheap. Right now it looks like we might be having a second wave in terms of market moves down, coupled with, well, actually rather on the back of election volatility in the US and probably the situation that's going on with retail. Just a huge mess. I can't explain it any other way. Other than it's a huge mess. Retail is struggling. You've already had bailouts in the transport arena and such. Airlines, for example, with a commercial paper facility in the UK, 300 million loaned out just by one company looking at one of their RNSs. Then you look across and realize how many businesses are taking these loans and how many of them are not going to be able to pay it back. I think Cineworld may have accessed part of that program. It's unlikely they're going to pay it back. They, I believe they appointed the guys who you appoint when you feel like it's the end of the road to try and sell off your assets. You're losing assets. Like anyone's going to buy for that? Probably no one. But we are chilling, looking about. I've got my terminal set up on the other screen because obviously you can't show a Bloomberg terminal data on a stream, but I'm just having a look around. I'm curious. OD Asset Management has a really interesting story with a couple of stocks I'm looking at, and I wonder. They seem to have a strategy of building. Well, let me go over this again. They have a strategy of selling out stocks that have been dormant, regardless if they're down or up a little bit. They sell the stocks that are dormant. They build onto the ones that have started to have some form of breakouts. They sell into the initial breakout, and then they add after like an extensive anti-beta situation. It seems hedge fundy, if I can think of anything. I wonder. Sometimes Bloomberg functions don't help that much. Like if you look at a holdings RNS, you'd assume that OD sold on the 27th yesterday, but the terminal is saying they bought. So I'll stick with the terminal for now. They're buying at 334. No, that was 27th. 27th is the day before. 27th. They were buying. I assume then they're selling because of the price action. Selling at around 350. Interesting point of support as well. I know hedge funds don't tend to think in terms of that kind of stuff, but it's an interesting observation nonetheless. Okay. It's quite quiet tonight. Normally always picks up as we get into things. I wonder though, what were we looking at a couple minutes ago? AO World. Let's go. These guys. In terms of the weekly, see how they're holding up. Holding on trend. Important to keep track of. Yeah. That breakout from the 120s. Ooh. Very, very interesting. I think they had a trading update. They still lost money, and yet shares did 34%. I want to have a look and see if I can find that day, 12th of October, because I think I have 3 of their documents up. 12th of October could be the 15th, if it goes on to the week. Yeah, let me get the days up. That would be, 15th. I've got a trading statement for that. Let's see. Revenue up 54% in the UK. That's year on year. General business, you'd expect, 20-30% in this area, especially with their revenue only being around 700 million. Market cap 1.6 billion. Earnings absolutely non-existent to a degree. I mean, they're making money, but if you make 1.6 million pounds in a year and your market cap's 1.6 billion, you're basically on a PE ratio of almost 1,000. In this case, the earnings are a little bit above 1.6 million. But nonetheless, they're profitable. Remember when Tesla weren't profitable, things changed. It's interesting, though. The fundamental picture in this business looks right for another maybe 100, 200%, and it makes sense with a couple other variables I've looked at too. So I like the look of these. But the question is, where do I get them? Where is fine for me? It's entered a point where, yeah, sub 70 RSI in this situation. Well, basically, I can't see, unless we have an intraday recovery on indexes, I can't see this moving right back up. If it does within the next day, then I'm very unfortunate. S&P 500, 32.89. That is below support. So yeah, this election situation isn't looking too pretty for the markets. What are we doing? Back to lows? What's the situation? 35, 34 was seen before. September, early mid-October, we saw 3,500. Where were our previous lows? 3,000. So yeah, I'd see 32.30 next support. Probably gonna fall tomorrow. It's 216 in the US, I believe, because that's GMT -4. In terms of support, yeah, that 3,000 level, the same one I got burnt out trying to short the break off on the second retest, 26th of June. That led to a decent 600-point rally, 20% on the index. I think that's probably going to be the crunch point. 31.80, yeah, and there are some significant points. 31.80 to 32.30 on the SP 500, and then that lower range is 3,008, 3,009 thereabouts. Be interested to see how things work out. Have a quick check up on the stream. See how everything's working. Wonderful. Alright. I need to actually check up on this afterwards, see if it works smoothly. And if anybody's watching right now, please let me know how the stream is looking. Are we having delays? What's the scene? Adele and Skepta are dating. No, I swear. Happy for him. All they need to do is make a track. Well, yeah, then where's that point? Just below 300. Yeah, there. Or top of this range. Top of this range break. Base breakout. 240. Can we break it down a little bit? See any other important points? What at, very, very simple. It's in an uptrend nonetheless, so if you have a bullish perspective on it, obviously you're gonna play the game however you desire. But let's see, Germany revenue grew by circa 83% on a constant currency basis. Germany is the interesting bit. It does sound like a German business, doesn't it? Aorta. Like the heart thing. Let's see. During the first half, we've seen growing benefits. I'm going to have a look at the Bloomberg perspective. Why am I not looking at that? I got too confused with some existing shareholders. Alright, related functions. Yep. Let's see. I'll get the ownership summary. Switch it. What is it? Financial analysis. That's it. So I'm gonna find out some things. Market cap beginning 2020. Well, actually, no, not even that. February. £318 million. It's only 5 times that point now. Revenue is expected to be much higher. Yeah, that's impressive. 902 million. Next year is expected to be 1.5 billion. Yeah, that's transformational for the business for sure. What about in terms of income? Well, they're actually expected to turn over a decent profit next year as well. 33 million pounds, considering their net income fig's been like negative for the past 3-4 years. It really just reminisces Ocado. You can't really think of any other suitor for it. See how the indexes are doing. We closed 2 hours ago, so 12 or so. I guess we broke support then by the looks. Interesting. Only problem I got is their cash balance. I know their stuff is held up in trade, but I'd do a book build. If I was the management at AO World, I would do a book build, an accelerated book build, an offering. You can raise, I think, 19.9% of your issued share capital in a placing offering. 20% at 1.6 billion, 320 million, or minus fees, 300 million pounds. Has there been a time where their liquidity was like that? Never. If you do that, this company is going to be a monster. I can see 5 billion valuation. I can see those employee options getting mopped up, sold on the market, and the market not even worrying. Well, that's a suggestion for management. If I was a director there, that's what I would do. I think it would be the smartest thing, because the people you're offering the placing to, the open public, this is none of that behind the doors kind of thing. They stand to benefit because the business actually seems to have capital that can work in the right direction. In terms of inventories, they got a fair bit. I think they bought too much. This cash is very, very tight. Very, very tight. Whilst I can't share this data on screen, I would say it's very, very tight. Let me check the cash flow situations though. Yeah, so cash from... Oh, that's a good shout actually. I haven't checked up on the debt servicing situation. Not too bothered about lease liabilities. Long-term debt. Yeah, it's okay. Excuse me there. Alright. Well, I think it's in good nick. It's in a good situation. It will be fascinating to see where I get into these guys. It might be not that far away from here. In terms of my position sizing, I've got two kind of situations based off my system. One has me adding a bit of size around 235, 245 area, and that's a large chunk, no little chunks or whatever. And then the other has me adding just under 300 for half, and then the other half around 270. The third scenario is I go crazy and I wait for 275, then I take 230 for the remaining chunk. Gives me an average equal size, 45 over 2, 22.25 plus 235. Well, 230, let's just say 253. 253 a share. Stop just below 200. 20% risk. Roughly 80% upside if everything works out. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong at all. We're good. Should probably play some music. Get myself non-copyrighted music. Oh. Copyright free. Gonna cook food in a bit, but I'll have a proper session another time. It's more interesting to join the trading streams. We had about 16 people on our last one. This is an odd time of the night. This is where people fall asleep, me included generally. But I just wanted to get some of this out. I'm feeling good as well. Oh, the S&P is trying to get back up above 3,300. Not believing it unless it's by close today. Let's see. These are really like GCSE music. Okay. Wow. It's the whole. I'm very curious about their cash. I would love to buy them straight after replacing. Alright. Has some float as well. Most shareholders UK, US as well. Huh. Shares out. This isn't as vibes. Someone else. Sounds like a nighttime story. Alright. Who else is streaming? HXRO Labs. These guys are chill.
And, great volume node there as well.
Yo.
But you can see, just sloping momentum right now on this. No real volume spikes in this breakout as well. Pretty mute on that. So I didn't buy this personally, but this is a chart I always keep my eye on, just because I know Binance Smart Chain is having really good growth. Binance as a platform, are they going to do well in the next?
Let's see how
the
he
burns
finds
are going
the
situation. And as their user base expands, as their trading fees revenue increases, so do the burns. So this is definitely one to be keeping an eye on. But for now, wait for that close above this key level, $32.
I see VPVR.
Clear shot, a nice probability, low risk trade back up to this $38, $40 level, right?
That
So
gap's
that's what we're
got
keeping
fill.
an eye out for.
That's
Basically,
what I want.
just set some alarms.
I'm a greedy
These range
person.
lows are somewhere
That's
around
what I want.
28.6. I'll do it now.
They don't raise.
And then,
They
vice
could
versa,
lose
set an
us a
alarm
lot.
at $32. Oh, that's all you have to do. We can move on. So Theta, we love this. We love this coin. This thing has been trading like an absolute beauty. And, people don't believe in TA, but I think TA is an art. Sometimes they get these beautiful setups. Like look at this thing. So
I mean, it's up to you, man.
TA is an
He cut out, bless. I'm trying to see. It's interesting. I think I might come up with like a stream format for when we do the trade so that I can just get it up straight away and go from there. But at the moment, things are okay.
So
yeah, can we hear ourselves?
I mean, it's up to you, man.
You do your thing, brother. You do your thing. Alright. Smooth. Okay. Well, hello to everybody tuning in. We're just enjoying some data regarding AO World. We're trying to figure out whether this hype will continue, whether the fact that the shares have moved from what? 48.5 pence to 334 pence will continue in the direction to the upside. I am interested with this one. In terms of institutions, they're probably banking a fair amount of profits, and this has somewhat of a correlation to indexes. It tells its price performance. I think as long as this important trend is intact, shown by the blue line there, then I would expect the shares to kind of continue upwards. It did almost 100% in 9 sessions, so it's definitely having an inflow of capital. If I look at the trading statement that they released that sent their shares all the way from, well, just 30% in a day, that's the best thing to say. They closed at 302, opened day before they closed 231.5. They say the last 6 months of trading have been like no other during my 2 decades in the business, says the group CEO, Mr. John Roberts. Said AO was in good shape coming into the financial year, and it was in even better shape accelerated by COVID. That to me is quite odd because your cash situation is tough, struggling a fair bit, but it is an interesting business nonetheless. I would definitely keep it on my watch list. It's the first one we're adding in for the month, obviously excluded from things we cover regularly. I mean, Germany, they've had a fair bit of growth. AOAs, whoa. Do you know this business was made over a pub session? The founder was saying about it. He seems like a chill guy, I'm not gonna lie. I really hope the best for him and his business. I'd like to be a shareholder if this situation is sorted out. But if there's further strength and the trend maintains, they can raise with ease. I just think it would be smarter to raise before. You raise your money when you don't really need it, so that when you do need it, nobody thinks you're desperate. They're still buying your shares. Things are okay. Make sure you got more cash. Oh, we've had a tweet from Anthony Roberts. Ah, I recognize. Hands will rinse short side with speculation. Can assume so. I like that tweet and agree with you. Alright, what other data can we figure out? I want to look more into that situation with regards to their cash. Does it make sense? I've already looked through their financial statements rigorously in terms of balance sheet related situations. I don't know where their cash has gone this year. I need to figure out and see how much they've lost the year before. Cash down from 28.9 mil to 6. Last year, 2019, net income, yeah. So they're making money now. Their revenue's up. They are making money. Problem is, it's just not enough cash. That's the one thing that's really holding me back. I think I'm struggling here to be on Team AO until they've got a cash raise. If they raised at 230 right now, I know it's 334, but let's say it went to 230 and they raised, I think AO would be worth instantly double. Same way when Okado had a raise, they had capital. There was nothing people could say about them. Oh, they're losing 40 million a year. That's fine. They could last 20 years. So if they're going for the big win, they're going for the big win. Let's have a look. Expenses, way too high. 185 mil. Yeah. That's not pretty at all. That is not pretty. I like the sales estimates, though. All of a sudden, 1.5 billion for 2021 ending. The full year. That 2022 1.575, I reckon they could do way higher. If they're in Germany and they're in the UK, there's so many other markets beyond. Hey Jeremy, nice to meet you. Jeremy P2844. We are enjoying ourselves right now. We're looking through some information. On my other screen, I have some boring little financial statements and also our Bloomberg terminal access, which is super nice. It makes the process of researching companies that we haven't really come across before much easier. Obviously, within the license agreement, you're not able to distribute this information, so I'm trying to infer rather than break any rule, because I can't do that. I want to keep my access here, but I got the chart up as well. A simple situation where we are ensuring longs as long as the trend holds. For me, I think it's likely I'll get in within the range of wherever this high was made. I think 237, 238 to anywhere as high as 296. It would be nice to try and get the lower ends, but we could find ourselves buying on a breakout above 300. We were trading Rolls-Royce this morning, but because I was in a class, I was unable to stream, so I apologize for that. Nor was I able to catch the video, but I'll figure out some structure over the next couple of days so that we can have everything easy and smooth. In terms of transitions, welcome to those tuning in on the YouTube stream and the TradingView stream. We've got Jeremy P2844 as a new person in chat. Welcome. We haven't seen you ever, so it's really nice to meet you. Shout out to KWN for the follow and Aramat Ashzar, if I'm saying that right. Brio G, all for the follow. The Watcher for the follow. Thank you. William Trading, thank you. Notice a pro member there. And Gabriel Mujjanima 2307. Thank you for following. Also London. That's pretty cool that your name is London. Thank you for following. I'm in London. I was going to say my name is London. It isn't. It's Ryan. Nice to meet you though. We're chilling. We're enjoying. If there's any companies you want us to look at, we'll have a look as well. And spice the game up beyond online retail. I wonder what kind of assets they could dispose. You wouldn't do that though. 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. I'm going to see if they have a history of placing. Ew. See if they've raised any money before. 2017, £50 million. Is that it? What? No. The management is so, like, morally, ethically right that they haven't raised when they didn't need to. So I feel like that could be a situation where if they raise, it's out of desperation now. Very, very upsetting. From an investor's perspective, but a person who wants to get in, not someone who's in. Someone who's in, though, I'll be honest, you'd be better off having them place. Last placing had the directors subscribing for £2 million each. That's nice. Low key, I would put up a lot of money. If they did a placing at 230 for that 10k portfolio, I'd put a whole 10k portfolio in. I'd put every, well, no, I wouldn't put every asset I had, but that's how, like, I believe in that raise being a great idea, but they haven't raised, so yeah. Let's see. IPO, they want to be the best electrical retailer in Europe. Electrical retailer. Oh, that's interesting. All they need is a deal with Ocado and one of these businesses, and all will be all right. Let's see. Capital raising allows us to. Oh, details of the placing. 9.99% of the shares issued. They did 10%. That's still 160 million now. March 2017. And that was a director lockup. You don't even need that stuff right now. 2017. Oh, these are far away. I just want to get some context. March 2017. There. Really is big US tech valuation. March 2017. Can I get the exact date? Is that the 30th of March? 30th of March must have been the Saturday. No, Thursday. What? 30th of March 2017, not 2018. My bad. Let's have a look. 30th of March. Shares were 140 previous day. 138. Next day 141. Placing was done at... Oh, it was a book build. That's what I was talking about. Why don't they book build? They can raise 3 times the amount of money. Do I have to send an email? Do I have to call someone and suggest this? Like, you guys, you deserve it. Good management, good people. Why not do this? I know it's a tough time in the market, but even in this time, I would take part in that. What did I do on inventory? There was something. I don't think it says they proposed the placing, subject to terms. We expect to have doubled annual revenues to £700 million. Well, that will double to next year's full revenue. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I should probably take a rest, but I'm fascinated by this. I am. We'll be back trading the 10k portfolio, hopefully, whether that's in the next stream or a future stream, we shall see. But I'm interested in the fact that placing didn't have a price, which meant that it was just based off whatever the market had. How's volume there? Was there any interest? Yeah. 2.8 million shares at pound. 2.8 million pounds. There was definitely some interest. I wonder with this one. Inventories way higher than you'd expect. Selling to a larger market, understandably. Assets. Not growing too much. I don't get where the valuation is coming from. But then again, do you get where the valuation is coming from with Ocado? Not at all. These guys are a quarter of what they should be by accounting standards. But It is what it is. I'll be buying them at 230s, 240s if I can get them. And I'll take a 20% stop situation because I do like the look of these guys. If they can raise, I'm not just medium-term holding. I'm investing. I like that. It's the closest thing to big tech around here. Erfa and Econ, nice to meet you. I'm Ryan. Welcome to the Quantium Research stream. We're just looking at AO World's shares and how they performed in 2017 when they raised money. They didn't seem to have a good time back then. And we are now trying to go back to where we are right now, 2020 in October, where their shares have absolutely exploded. Literally, COVID lows, 49 pence a share, currently 334 pence a share. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And I'm also looking at some information on my Bloomberg terminal on the other screen to just try and determine how things are. Let's see. Debt. Fine. I have two problems that are stopping me from this. And I can't seem to find a way. Excuse me there. To convince myself what the smartest option to do is. So I'm going to have to give it a couple of days of further research. Yeah, so we're not trading today, for those who've asked in chat, but we normally will be. We're just chilling, screening the markets. US session's still open. I think we should have a look at our favorite US trading stock that seems to be killing us every time. Wow, Wayfair. Wayfair shares are up? What? Hold up. Let me check out the S&P real quick. Not the S&P. S&P 500. Still below 3,300. It's probably because these guys are at, an important point of support. I wouldn't be shorting them there, that's for sure. I wanted them. Yeah. No, it's crazy how things like Beyond Meat are still doing alright. What? Who's going to buy bonds of companies like General Motors? Well, General Motors are up 4%. I don't know. It's all giving me a headache to try and understand. That is interesting. These guys don't pay dividends. That's a great thing. Cash pay for taxes, for interest. They do pay a fair amount on debt. I don't think they're going to make it the next 12 months without a raise. That's my conclusion. Yeah. If they raise and the shares don't move, I'm going to be buying up as much as I can. If they don't raise and the shares keep crashing, especially with indexes right now, the situation isn't pretty. So yeah, I think I'm going to head off because I need to prepare myself for dinner. I got a meeting on a Zoom in about 2 hours that I said I'd be there for. And then yeah, things are all chill. This wasn't a long stream at all. We didn't even breach the hour mark, but I hope everyone's alright. And if you haven't already, I'm going to share a link to our latest video where we were trading the shares of Rolls-Royce. And we made £193 and 99 pence in 2 hours. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, what we'll normally be doing are live trades, our live stream trades, the videos and all that stuff. Please make sure you subscribe to Quantium Research on YouTube. Give us a nice like, all that stuff, all the support. And we'll be back in the next trading session that I am active on. Obviously not every single one. But yeah, generally we don't have chilled streams like this in the evening. But I thought I'm sitting on a bad boy piece. What did I say? I'm sitting on a bad boy piece of information, you know. So I thought I'd share that. Excuse me there. I thought I'd share that with all of you interesting situation developing with AO, and they are definitely a company I'm gonna save a note on the terminal. Yeah, I should do that. But nevertheless, I've been your host Ryan Keir of quantiumresearch.co.uk. Not just the Quantium Cast podcast, in case you want to check that out. We're on iTunes at Quantium Research, Spotify at Quantium Research, and YouTube as well. Most of our episodes get uploaded, including our recent one, How Takeaways Work and the Future of the Restaurant Business. We had hedging against risk, all sorts of stuff. Our most favorite one on YouTube was one about Carson Block. I think it was that episode 64. 320 on YouTube alone, and we rarely get any views on YouTube because it's a podcast. People don't watch podcasts, they listen to them. In terms of our most popular episode of all time, though, someone just asked, that was the one about tech stocks. Yeah, it wasn't too popular on YouTube, but we breached the 1K mark, which was real nice, and pushed on to 2 shortly after. So yeah, our tech stocks primed for reversal. A lot of things I mentioned in this podcast are happening today. You're seeing tech stocks rip to highs, and you're seeing all the other Main Street stocks suffering. And a couple of ideas mentioned there as well. How COVID will affect small and big businesses. The small guys are suffering. The publicly listed large corporations are doing all right because the government can see that they actively need help through their accounts. And if you've messed up here and there as a small business in your accounting, maybe with an employee or whatever, when it came to furloughs, you were struggling and nobody's going to help you at that point. You're just going to fall under. Your business is over with. Someone's going to take it up and get all your hard-earned funds. You can't let them do that. You got to do everything by the book. Keep to the book always. Things should be all right. Be a good person. Be a good business that serves a purpose, a product, or delivers a service, and you're going to be okay. But nonetheless, I've been your host Ryan Keir of the Quantium Research live stream on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. We weren't on Twitch today though, but we shall be back soon. And I hope everything is well with all of yourselves. Happy trading, all of the good stuff. Until next time.